I'm fat, naked, and my hair is trying to consume the rest of my head. Does that turn you on? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about what to do when you have a fetish problem in the bedroom. And of course we're talking about this in the nude so that we can be more honest and open, not because it's a sexual thing. And this is an idea brought to you by the ever lovely Trisha Hirschberger, who of course also does these nude and shows about as much as I'm showing you now. So if you want to see that, just search her channel because she does this every week. Anyway, so the topic there being what to do when there is a fetish issue in the bedroom. I actually happen to know somebody who had one of these. This particular couple, the husband had a thing for lesbians. And before they got intimate, he had to watch lesbian pornography. And sometimes they never got around to being intimate because he got too into the lesbian pornography. But here's where this really became a problem, is at one time in the relationship, he said that he would refuse to sleep with his significant other unless she agreed to have a threesome. And I believe her response was somewhere along the lines of, well, can I have two guys? He says no. She goes, well, then you can't have two girls. This should give you something of an idea of the climate of this relationship. But understand what the big warning sign in this is. An ultimatum has been issued in the bedroom. That's never a good thing. So what would you do in a situation like this, where somebody has to have something and that something is screwing up the intimate relationship? Well, okay, it's simple. First, you need to have a lengthy conversation about it, and you need to be open to exactly what's going on. Like, you talk about, how did this start? And, I mean, you know, look, something that happens, people get used to what they're used to, and this is what they've always done. So, I mean, it's like, you know, if a guy's been single for a whole time, he gets a girlfriend, they wind up having trouble being intimate. I just hit something. I'm not going to cut that out. There's an old crock pot next to me and I just hit it. Oh no, that's an old coffee maker. Anyway, so regardless, what do you do at that point? Well, okay, so what were you doing before the relationship? You know, you kind of got to work up to getting things together. Like if you used to go have a private moment in the shower, then you and your significant other need to go have a moment in the shower. Maybe do what you did before with them there, and then now you're used to them being there, and eventually you can have a more normal relationship. Or if you always did this, you know, in the bedroom, then you need to be in the bedroom, and that's kind of how that happens. So if a guy has a thing where he just got really into lesbian pornography, he should probably seek a counselor. But, you know, maybe he should try to watch more and more normal. I don't know enough about pornography to have this conversation. Really, I'm at a loss. But you would have to work towards normal sexuality, which would generally involve getting to the point where you could have intercourse without watching pornography, because the hell's wrong with you? Anyway, that's kind of the thing, is you need to work towards a more healthy relationship if it's something that's really causing a problem in the bedroom. And just remember this, there's no shame in going to a marriage counselor or a relationship counselor. Relationships are hard. They generally don't work out. It's one of those things. Relationships are not easy. So get that through your head and go to a counselor. And by the way, not all counselors will fit for you. Counselors are like people. When you have an emotional health counselor of any kind, you have a relationship with that counselor which is not unlike the relationship you would have with a very close friend or even an intimate other. You need to find the one that works for you. So that's sort of where I am. If it's a big thing, you need to go to a counselor. You need to remember that there are two people in a relationship, not just one, and this has to be an event that is, satisfying to both parties. Or at least there has to be a trade-off. Like, I did not see 50 Shades of Grey, but I know that was brought up. And it's like, here's the thing about 50 Shades of Grey. Everything I do know about it, it was weird, crazy stalker. The guy was like leaving stuff and saying, eat this, drink this, you need to do this. It's like, okay, look, anytime that you're having a relationship and a contract is involved, you now have something that's just a little too weird. Unless it's the existence of contracts that's what turns you on. It's like, oh yeah, it's bad. No, that's weird. But, yeah, just remember that things should be all in good fun and both parties should be totally into it. I mean, I remember I once had a teacher who his classroom had a safe word. And it was like, okay, you've got issues. Shouldn't need that in the classroom. But I understand why one would need that in a bedroom if they have certain fantasies. And this conversation is not about those, so I'm not going to get into it. But there's my advice for what it's worth. Work towards a healthy sex life and see a counselor if you need it. I'm Richard Neal. Peace out.